I'm going to teach you how to do multiple heli loops. Even if you're still learning single heli loops, this will be an excellent tutorial and complement to my other videos on the subject. So I use multiple heli loops when I'm jumping over 20 meters. By repeatedly sending the kite forward and looping the kite, you can alter your trajectory. So instead of falling down quickly, you fall a little and glide a lot. So how do you do it? If you watch this clip, you'll notice that there's a routine you can follow. You send the kite forward deep into the window, correct the leading edge direction, sheet out to take tension off the back lines, wait to swing under the kite, loop it around with the backhand, and as the kite comes out of the loop, you send it again. So let's break each of those steps down and give you some crucial pointers. The send. You start out by sending the kite super hard. If you don't know how to do a send jump with a backhand heli loop, then you should watch this video. You actually want to send the kite super hard and super deep. Why? Because the faster you swing past the kite, the more effective the heli loop will be. The faster you swing past the kite, the more you end up pulling on the kite. You introduce a lot of line tension and create induced wind by pulling the kite with you as you travel. I know that this sounds scary. If you're jumping 20 meters plus, you're in strong wind, and the last thing you want to do is send it super hard. But actually, the stronger the wind gets, the harder I like to send it. It makes your heli loops way more effective. I like to think of it this way. When you send the kite forward, it's like you're throwing the kite. When you swing under the kite, it's like the kite is throwing you. And we're going to repeat this process until we land. Correcting the leading edge. When you send the kite forward, the leading edge will be facing this direction. You need to give a tiny bit of backhand input to correct the leading edge direction. You want the leading edge to face this way, so the kite will be on the side of your front shoulder as you swing under it. Be careful not to give too much backhand input or you will pull the kite over to the other side of the window, sheeting out. Once you're traveling nice and fast, you want to sheet out so that the kite stops drifting downwind with you. This takes the tension off the back lines and enables the kite to stay parked while you swing under it. The next step is to swing under the kite. But before I carry on, I want to take 30 seconds to share some info about one of my sponsors, the SURFR app. At 286 meters far, this is the furthest jump recorded on the SURFR app at the moment.
Yeah! Whoa!
You can measure your jump distances, heights, get insights to teach you how to jump higher, and more using the SURFR app on your smartwatch. Check out the data for this jump. You can see I took off over here and landed all the way down here. Guys, how cool is this data? You don't need to put an expensive sensor on your board. You can simply take a smartwatch. You can download the SURFR app using the link below and get a free 2-week trial of SURFR Pro. Meow. The swing. So we've sent the kite, corrected the leading edge, and we've sheeted out. Now we've got to swing under the kite. You need to wait until you swung far downwind of the kite so that the heli loop happens above your head. Look at how far I swing under the kite on this clip. So when it comes to the swing, you've just got to wait. That's all it is. Sometimes we get a bit nervous and we want to loop it, but hey, just stay calm, be patient, and wait. Looping it around. Once you're far downwind of the kite, you can safely loop the kite around. Look at how little I steer the kite in order to loop it. A lot of people think that they need to crank the bar here, but that's incorrect. Imagine my hands are the kite. You see, when you loop your kite, you're actually stalling one side of the kite, and the other side of the kite flies around the stalled side. If you crank the bar too much, you're going to stall a large part of the wing, and there won't be much wing left flying in order to keep you gliding. So you only want to crank it a little bit, and then there's a large part of the wing that can continue flying around. So whether you're doing single heli loops or multiple heli loops, make sure you are not cranking the bar. You want to steer with a small bit of input, but steer persistently. Look at how wide the radius is on these heli loops. That's because I'm steering slowly instead of cranking the bar. Sending it again. Once you've turned the kite around and the leading edge is flying forward, stop giving backhand input. So you let the bar level out. This will allow the kite to continue to fly forward, which will kick off the send part of the routine again. You then simply repeat the process by throwing the kite and having the kite throw you until you glide in softly to land. As with everything, I encourage you to start small and take baby steps. Practice this in 30 knots before going nuts in 40 knots. You won't need to do multiple heli loops in 30 knots, but you can force yourself to overtake the kite early enough to justify doing multiple heli loops by sheeting out quite early after you send. I prefer to do multiple heli loops in strong or gusty wind because I can lower myself to the water gradually instead of relying on one heli loop to do the job. The best kites for big floaty jumps are flatter bow delta shapes like the Core XR, which you can buy on bigairkite.com. I hope you found today's video helpful. If you want to get more tips as well as my free PDF guide with 15 essential lessons to help you get good at big air super fast, then head over to gethighwithmike.com/fast. I also put the link down below. If you learned something new today, then subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the comments. And I made another video for you. I think you're gonna love it. You can watch that one over here and you can subscribe over here. Muchos besos and adios.